Man, man, that show feel good. That show feel good, man. Salute to my little brother Shawnee on the track. You feel me? Salute to my little brother Shawnee on the track, man. Oh my good God. Also known as My Soul to Keep. You feel me? My Soul to Keep over on social media. Man, that show feel good, boy. Man, thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in to another episode of the Black Gentleman Podcast, man, brought to you by the Black Gentleman Grooming Company. www.theblackgent.com. Be sure to go check them out, man. Go check us out. www.theblackgent.com. Hey, man, I don't even know what to say, man. Salute to the family. If this is your first time here, I am indeed Junior the Truth. I go by Junior the Truth. You can follow me everywhere via social media. I can be found with the handle Junior the Truth, JUNIORTHETRUTH, and that's over all the social media platforms, each and every one. You can just, I'm out there, man. You can find me. You can find me if you're really looking for me. You can really find me over on the Punch Junkie Network, which is, man, it's the last real place in the world for fans of the sweet science. So you can go over and check us out over there, www.punchjunkie.network. But man, salute, man. Salute. I'ma just say this, man. As we embark on this 34th episode of the Black Gentleman podcast, I always find myself doubling around and actually coming back to, just kind of the origin of the podcast in and of itself. I've shared my story several times with regard to how I entered into the whole realm of podcasting, which was podcasting was my first original form of content creation. I've since, kind of gone on into creating, videos and man, I don't know, varying other, forms of digital media content creation. We have videos, we have the blog site. Um, we do of course social media posts. We've actually built out a couple of different social media platforms, you know what I mean, that we have of course we also have the Punch Junkie magazine, which is available digitally as well as the physical copy. We've excuse me, we've written published I published my first book, the Simple Truth MinuteManual, the 1 hour book that would change the way you watch the clock. um, Written, published by Junior the Truth, me. We've got that there, and also we have that in a print format, digital format, and also we actually got an audiobook. I've been getting some feedback about the audiobook, man, and people are talking about how dope the audiobook is. I don't know, man. I really never thought about it. It just kind of was just like go. You know what I mean? It seemed second nature. Once we got it started, it was difficult for me to get to myself to get started because I didn't want to uh, read the book myself. I wanted to, hire a voice actor to actually do the book. The audio book and so on and so forth. And then it just seemed disgenuine to me. It seemed like nah, man, it's your word, so it needs to be your voice. You feel me? And then people who are the primary supporters, the people who support you are the ones that primarily are going to purchase the book, and then it's going to spill over to others. But the people who primarily support you are going to want to hear your words from your mouth. And I'm like, all right, man, I can't fight that. So we got the audio book out there, and got the caveats by my entire tribe. I mean, my family, my wife and my children. Um, but man, so the way that we kind of came about with regard to the Black Gentleman podcast was podcasting was my original form of content creation. And I kind of got away from it definitely with doing the YouTube, because I was creating content. It was probably about 2 years. I even had a YouTube channel which I created a video. Um and then it went like, I kind of went to black. I didn't really do a lot of YouTube content creation. I just continued my podcast. And then it kind of transitioned to me jumping in the realm of creating more videos on YouTube in order to grow and so on and so forth. And I've grown at a very strong snail's pace, you know what I mean, which I'm absolutely 100% I'm cool with, because as I state all the time, like I'm here for um true support, genuine relationship building, and I'm here for the thorough people, the thoroughbreds. I don't like a lot of suckers around me. You know what I'm saying? So give me my 2,000 thoroughbreds versus 2 million suckers any day. You know what I'm saying? I'll take it. So it kind of just, matriculated there with me creating more content. And at the time when I started really making more YouTube videos and really focusing on YouTube, I kind of went away from the traditional podcasting format. Like I went away from the traditional getting on here, you hear my voice and that's that, you know what I mean? And then I had, the people that started rocking with me from the beginning with the podcast, they kind of, got a little uneasy with me. Like, man, listen, what's happening? What's happening? Like, what are you doing? You just gonna leave us out high and dry? You didn't picked up the boxing, you talk boxing every day, and so on and so forth. You didn't got away from real world issues. You didn't got away from dropping game on the ground. You feel me? Like you didn't just got away from that. You didn't got away from, the jewels, and definitely not, dropping them in the podcast format. And I'm like, all right, because there are a lot of people who don't, like, believe it or not, they don't watch YouTube. There are people who literally consume podcasts and audiobooks. You feel me? Like that's what they listen to. They listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And to be honest with you, I aspire to go back to being one of them people, man. YouTube videos and YouTube content and stuff is cool. But I don't want that to be the primary source of my content. You know what I mean? So I definitely plan to go back, you know what I mean, to really focusing on my on, listening to podcasts and audiobooks, because I move around so much. But anyway, so there are people who don't really, focus on the YouTube. Like YouTube is cool. Even some of the people who, watch my, the Punch Junkie Morning Show, they turn me on and then they listen and they continue going throughout the day, but they're not literally there just watching. You know what I mean? They're over there because they actually mess with me, which is cool. You feel me? But anyway, so I got away from podcasting per se, and then I just got back and I was like, all right, man, I gotta stop playing. So I introduced the Black Gentleman podcast, which was kind of a derivative, because the podcast I had in the past primarily focused on sports, which is cool. But man, sports is such a limiting, it's such a limiting area. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm a person that I really don't believe in limits. I believe the only limits that you have are the ones that you place on yourself. And I just absolutely don't place limits on myself. I'm on that masterpiece shit. Like there are no limits. Like I might fuck around and start making cereal tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on that I'm on that masterpiece. So you feel me? Don't trip out if you see the Punch Junkie the Punch Junkie flakes. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfucker, the Simple Truth Raisin Brand. Like hey man, don't spaz out if you see that, because it's I don't believe in limitations. And so I really wanted to get back um to it and kind of spilling outside of the realm of sports, because sports, like I said, it's cool, but it's also very, very limited, and there's so much more for us to talk about and so much more for us to focus on than just LeBron James announcing that this is his last season. You feel me? Um or the Lakers versus the Warriors, you know what I'm saying, or the Celtics versus the Sixers. It's so much more for us to focus on than that, and that's really truly like my that's kind of like my pool. And so, with introducing the Black Gentleman um podcast to go in line with the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, the inspiration of it was a series. It was about I want to say it might have been like a 2-day period. It was like a 2-day period, and it probably was about 4 to 5 different times that someone referred to me as that Black Gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard, you know what I mean, that Black Gentleman. about four. It's about four. I'm exaggerating. It was probably like 3 to 4 times, and it just stuck to me because it was one of those things that, like, no matter how dynamic I am, no matter who I am, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a man, I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I'm an uncle, I'm a nephew, I'm a son, you feel me, a grandson, like I'm a whole lot of things. And no matter what the however and I'm a bad motherfucker too. Let's get that out there. You feel me? I'm bad as barbecue as well. And I'm an educator and a mentor and a mentee and all of these things. And no matter what, there are going to be people who just look at me and that's what they see. Like, yeah, that black gentleman there. You feel me? And also too, really truly wanting to be able to promote my messaging of the importance of manhood and the and bringing back, shit, manhood at the highest degree. And so thus the Black Gentleman brand was just kind of, it spawned from that. And it includes, of course, the podcast, as well as the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, which is, a huge part and has become a huge part of my life, but it has always been a huge part of my life. It just wasn't branded as such. You feel me? Like I've always, I come from a long line of extraordinary men and an extraordinary gentleman as well. And so it's kind of a tribute to the men, you feel me, that raised me, as well as men that have, influenced me and also men with and people in general with the same exact thought process. And so anyway, so that's kind of how it all kind of spawned and it came together. And I was just, it was really bothering me for a while because I'm just like, man, all right, what am I gonna do with this? You feel me? Like, what am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with this? And then I had the idea, and I was just like, I was real hesitant because, at the end of the day, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit in my Erica Badu voice. Like, I'm sensitive. And so when I had the idea for this branding, and I'm like, I'm gonna be able to come and the grooming company, um and then come back, with, of course, the podcast. I think the podcast actually came first, and then the company was released, after that. And I was like, man, I just don't know. And then I ran my idea past my brother, Thomas J. Few, and I'm like, bro, this is my idea. And he was like, man, what the fuck you waiting on, bro? Do it. That shit is dope and it's brilliant and it's needed and it's this and it's that. And then I was like, shit, well, all right, here we go. And then the family just really truly absorbed it and, got up under it and supported it. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? And now, we're 34 episodes in on the podcast. And I've been as you all know, I stepped away from the podcast. You know what I mean? So we really should be about if I wasn't playing around, we really should be about, man, probably about 100 plus episodes in. And salute to my brother JC, JC the author, you feel me, and the JC of the Three-Headed Monster podcast. So salute to them. And you can catch them Wednesdays 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on JC's YouTube channel. But he used to always be on me about, JC be on me about that podcast. Like, man, I need a Black Gentleman podcast, bro. Need a Black Gentleman podcast. Hey, bro, where the Black Gen podcast? Need a podcast. Need a podcast. And so salute to JC for staying on me, man, about the actual podcast. And just reaffirming that, there are people who want to consume content outside of, just the normal. And the thing about me, I don't know, man, you just never know what you're gonna get, which is one of the things I love about my platform. I love about my community on YouTube and overall my community of stakeholders. I love it. You know what I mean? Because you never know what you're gonna get. You're gonna log in. We're gonna be talking. We liable to be talking finances. We liable to be talking relationships. We liable to be talking sex. We liable to be talking bad sex. You know what I mean? We liable to be talking about sex toys. You know what I'm saying? We liable to be talking about religion. We liable to be talking about genealogy. Like we liable to be talking about anything at any given time. We might be talking about sports. Like you just never know. So salute. my family of stakeholders, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate them and appreciate you all that are actually listening. So, but that's kind of, where we are. And so, as far as what I see for the future, um, right now I just kind of eased back into it and I said, all right, I have to work it into my content creation already, and those of y'all that follow the boxing content, that we do and we have done, we used to do every morning boxing talk, you know what I'm saying, with the Punch Junkie morning show. And I'm kind of like, yeah. And I went away from that because I just felt like there was just more, you know what I mean, there was just too much more, and there's too many things going on for me to just focus on boxing, as well as I feel like boxing is a very, very niche, corrupt space. And I feel like it doesn't really deserve that amount of my attention and that much of a gravitational pull on me. You feel me? And so anyway, and with the introduction of the Punch Junkie magazine, I felt inclined to, kind of pull back. And so we talk boxing Mondays and Fridays. And then we introduced with the whole introduction of the Simple Truth MinuteManual and so on and so forth. We started doing a temporary segment of the Simple Truth morning show, just to kind of, talk. And so we wanted to take that space on Wednesdays and fill that in with the Black Gentleman podcast, which makes it a whole lot easier to put that in, and we can dedicate this actual time to the Black Gentleman podcast. And it's one of the things that I'm dedicating this time to be able to present you with the weekly podcast, specifically revolving around the other issues and things to incorporate outside of, the realm of sports. Now, don't get it twisted. We may, depending on the events and what's going on, is, there's no doubt that we may actually put in sprinkle in some sports, but you just never know. But that's kind of how we got to where we are right now with the Black Gentleman podcast. And I feel so revived. It's so relieving to be able to create um this content specifically for my podcasting audience, what I mean, my podcasting stakeholders. Is so, man, it's so like, I didn't, and it's so, man, I was so moved when people were reaching out to me like, man, what's up with the podcast, bro? Like, you ain't did a podcast, and what about us over here? And I'm like, dang, okay, bet. You feel me? I got you. You know what I mean? I got you. And so I just wanted to blow the dust off, and here we are, man. So salute to the family. Man, shit, let's go on and get into it, man. Hey, man, say, one of the things that I'm always gonna go to the rooftops with, and I'm going to shout from the rooftops, and I'll climb up the mountain and I'll shout, is just paying attention to the things that are going on. Um, man, you have to follow the money, like, you know what I mean? You really have to follow the money, but you have to pay attention to the things that are going on. Just in society, man. I feel like we walk around with blinders on all day, man. We look so all right, man. I'm gonna just be blunt. You know what I mean? I'm trying to choose my words, and I'm just gonna take the cut off the dope. Man, we look so, like, people just are so dialed in and so focused on their cell phones. Motherfuckers are just in a whole different world. Every time you look at somebody, they're looking down at the dumbass cell phone. The motherfuckers are walking like, people don't even look where they're walking anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a whole, like, people always talk about like the zombie apocalypse. You feel me? The zombie apocalypse. And I really believe that this zombie apocalypse is like these cell phones, man. Like, people will be sitting with each other, both looking at their phones. Like, you got a whole person right there, and there's no interaction betwixt the two. It's always just people just, I'm talking just always on their cell phone. People walking on their cell phones. People walking through the store on their cell phones. People walking through the store parking lot on their cell phones. People downtown walking on their cell phones. And now we have these things now with the with earbuds all in all, but the ones that really look stupid, these Apple earpods. Some of y'all are probably listening to me on these the Apple AirPods with the little penis hanging out your ear. You got the little earpod, then you got the little penis hanging out your ear. Y'all got these dicks, and they all come in white. So y'all got these white dicks in your ear. like literally hanging out. You got these white penises hanging out y'all's ear, walking around looking down at your cell phone. Like, God damn, bro. You feel me? Like, golly. Like you just ain't gonna look up at all. Like motherfuckers don't even look up when like you just walk out, they just walk out in the street. Don't what happened to looking both ways before you cross the street? Like we didn't evacuated all of our essential survival skills. That was like an essential survival skill coming up. Mama told you look both ways before you cross the street. You feel me? Look both ways before you cross the street. Now motherfuckers don't look both ways. They just wait on the if they're opting to not jaywalk. A lot of people be jaywalking, looking at them damn cell phones with them damn penises hanging out their ear. You feel me? But mama say look both ways before you cross the street. Motherfuckers don't even look both ways. You just wait on the light to change. Like you gonna just like you literally gonna entrust that light, and you gonna trust people to actually stop. You're gonna trust people to not blow through this intersection. Like you just gonna trust people. Like I don't trust nobody, bro. I don't trust people to stop. Like people, they think I'll be like exaggerating when cars come up. Like I literally stop moving. You feel me? Until the car 100% stops, I don't move. You feel me? Like I literally make eye contact with the car. Like a car will be, and a lot of times people will apologize because I guess they'll be, intimidated or they feel some kind of way because I'll stop and I'll look at the car. Like I literally stop and I stop my kids and I'm looking at the car. You feel me? It could be 20 feet away. I'm looking at the car. They might be, and as long as they're trying to inch up to the cross area or whatever, we stopping. Like we are literally going to stop and stand until the car comes to a complete stop and I can engage the driver to make sure that the driver actually sees me, that the driver actually sees my children. Like I'm literally on that. I don't trust a motherfucker. Like I don't trust nobody to stop. I don't trust anybody to stop moving. I don't trust people to stop at the light. I don't trust none of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. You ain't you can't be walking around with your head down. You got to keep your head on the swivel. And then maybe it's just me, but like, when we came up, like you had to keep your head on the swivel. You never knew, like you had cars on the road that would hit you. You feel me? You had a lot of drunk drivers. You understand what I'm saying? Because the laws for drunk driving wasn't as stringent as it is now. You get enough DUIs right now, you going to a penitentiary. You feel me? It wasn't like that. You used to get drunk driving, had to go do a weekend, go to the workhouse or whatever on the weekend, pay your little restitution, and you back out on the road drinking again in my Anthony Hamilton voice. You feel me? Like it's different now. But anyway, we had drunk drivers. You had people that would kidnap you. That kidnapping shit came along, especially when you had Alton Coleman and Deborah. What was Deborah's name? Deborah Brown, I think. Alton Coleman. You feel me? It was terror. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers you had to watch out for kidnappers. You had to watch out for drunk drivers, people driving. You used to have to watch out for dogs. You understand what I'm saying? It was real. Them dogs, man. People's dogs get loose. You feel me? And it was always pit bulls, goddamn German Shepherd or Doberman Pinschers. You understand what I'm saying? Them Doberman Pinschers, man. Hey, man, say. But you always had to have your head on the swivel for dogs, right? Drunk drivers, kidnappers, dogs. They started to do the little gang shit. So people was the gangs used to be terrorizing some of our neighborhoods. Those of us who wasn't in gangs and affiliated with gangs, so you never know when you was gonna have to run. You feel me? We had a gang that came along around that time when I was growing up. They was called the Dogs. You feel me? So we had to run from dogs and the dogs. You know what I mean? And the dogs will catch you and they'll beat your ass. You feel me? But man, you had to keep your head on the swivel. You couldn't be walking around looking down and shit. Nah, you never knew. Like you never knew when you was gonna have to take off running. You never knew, hey man, say Police too. We had to, never know when you was gonna have to, dip from the police. We used to have also we used to have the crazy people, you know what I mean, running around talking to themselves and all that. We got chased by I can't remember what we called him. We got chased by a dude before. You feel me? He was just walking down the street talking to himself, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you niggas." And he started just chasing us. You feel me? And man, we got little. You know what I'm saying? And then like it was like that whole half of the year, you know what I'm saying? Every time, he would just was bothering us, messing with us, man. You feel me? And then there were some things that took place, man, and he left us alone. You know what I mean? And he wasn't around much longer. So, um, but man, I mean, that stuff was, man, it was crazy. And now I'm looking at it now, like people just don't even pay attention. Like y'all are, man, people are just entirely too comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? And I just look at it like I'm gonna be real with you. And I know this is an extreme, but I'm an extremist. Like I'm an extremist. I have no median. You understand what I'm saying? I'm an extremist. So I go 0 to 100 real quick. And I feel like, honestly speaking, I feel like cell phones have kind of impacted the way we view life. Like if you had any idea how precious life is and how precious these moments that we have are, that where we're going through this life, if we had any idea how precious that shit was, you understand what I'm saying, you wouldn't waste so much of your time looking at your cell phone with them white penises hanging out your ear. You understand? I think that you would spend a lot more time interacting with the people around you. You would spend a lot more time touching your loved ones. You would spend a lot more time having meaningful conversations. You know what I'm saying? You would spend more time engaging your children. You would spend more time engaging your loved ones, hugging each other, like talking like it. I'm always puzzled when I see people who go to events together. Like it's two people together at an event. Both of them are sitting there on their cell phones. What? Like you paid money to come to an event with another person, and the both of you all, you're not engaging with each other. You're not engaging with the event. You are both engaging separately on your cell phone. I see two people. I told this story when this was a few years back when I went to the Bar Louis in I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and I went to the Bar Louis to watch the University of Pittsburgh, my Pitt Panthers, play Clemson. And at that time, Clemson was number 2 in the country. And I think they won the national championship that year, but they were number 2. And I know they were at least in the playoffs, but they were number 2 in the country at that time. And maybe they didn't get in the playoffs because I think we beat them, and I think they dropped out the playoffs. I think we might have killed that, and they came back and won next year. I think anyway. So I'm at the Bar Louis and I'm watching it, and so I'm watching the joint, and I got on my pit gear, got on my pit t-shirt, got on my pit hat. You feel me? And some Clemson fans there, of course, because we're a whole lot closer to South Carolina and Alabama than Pittsburgh. It is what it is. But I might have been the only Pitt fan in there. And but I'm in there going bananas. You know what I'm saying? I'm going nuts. You know what I mean? Watching the game. And there was a guy and a woman who came in together. You know what I'm saying? And they sat next to me. Dude sat on one side, woman sat between us. No, actually, dude sat next to me, woman sat on the other side. You feel me? We got to talking, you know what I'm saying? Got to talking to me. Dude was on his phone. So the woman was, kind of talking, and I was engaging both of them, but it was one of them things where the woman was talking to me and I was talking to both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like they were talking to me and I'm talking to both of them. So I'm like trying to pull brother into the conversation, you know what I'm saying, as well. He really engaging in his phone or whatever. So come to find out, this is their first date. This was their first date. And so they ended up we was talking and engaging and stuff like that. And the brother got up and went to the restroom. You know what I'm saying? So the sister, now we're sitting at the bar. Now the sister moves her seat and she comes and sits. Now she's sitting next to me. And when the brother come back, he sits on the other side of the sister. So the sister sitting between us. And this whole time, you understand what I'm saying? This whole time, um, she's like totally not, you know what I'm saying, talking to him, pretty much anymore, and just kind of like engaging. He's engaging in his phone. She sat there quiet for a while and they just wasn't really, talking or whatever. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, like, I'm like, damn. You understand what I'm saying? Like on a and I know what the question is, you know what I'm saying? Because there are going to be people who are going to say, hey man, he might have been checking on his children. He might have been doing this. He might have been doing that, or whatever the case may be. From what I seen, just and not that I'm a person that's just looking at the phone, but he's just doing the social media thing. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Not really engaging with the woman. Long story short, like that was, and I was just sitting here thinking this whole time, like, man, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy that you can't even go on your first date and put your shit on hold in order to have a meaningful experience with a person that you're on the first date with. Like that makes absolutely no sense. Like none whatsoever. That makes absolutely no sense. You understand what I'm saying? And so then she ended up, they ended up, he was like, well, all right, you ready to go? And she's like, nah, I'm fine. I'm gonna catch it, I'll Uber back, whatever. It was nice. It was nice to meet you, all that old bullshit. And then she sat there for the rest of the game, and then he just left. And I'm like, all right, so let me all right, man. She was ready too. Like, let's just have a real conversation about it. She was ready. Like she was ready. Sister looked all good. She, you know what I'm saying? She smelled good. Like she was ready. She was ready. You understand what I'm saying? She was ready. I literally I was visiting my in-laws, and so my wife and my little daughter was here at the time. So my wife and my little baby were with my father-in-law, and they were, hanging out, doing what they was doing. I wanted to watch the game, and I wanted to watch the game in peace, goddamn me. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go to Bar Louie. You know what I'm saying? Find somewhere to watch it. Walked around. It was a Bar Louie, like at a mall, and so I ended up there. But I was just like, man, and so that was that. So she sat there, watched the game, kicked it, you know what I'm saying, and ended up, catching her Uber and shit and leaving. And I acted a damn fool when Pitt won by a field goal at the end of the game. I threw my hat across the bar, jumped all up and shit. I acted a damn monkey in there. And then I got asked to leave, you know what I'm saying? So I left Bar Louie's, giggled. I think the video, I had to see if that video's still up. I made the video at the conclusion of the game. If I can find a video, I'll repost it on my social media for those of y'all who follow me via social media. But yeah, I acted a damn idiot. And got escorted out the Bar Louie's. Like shit, it is, or asked to leave or whatever. Like, man, fuck, it is what it is. Got my hat back though. You feel me? Got my hat. And like, man, you can't just be throwing your hat and acting a damn standing up on people's furniture and shit. You can't be standing up on the white folks' furniture at the bar, acting a damn fool, throwing your hat, screaming and yelling, scaring the people and shit, scaring the babies. So I had to leave the Bar Louie's. I went outside giggling. I went outside giggling and shit. But it was what it was. But at the end of the day, ultimately though, I say this to say that was one of the times that I saw it actually play out, where people are just so engaged and they do not have the attachment to the human experience anymore. Like conversation is dead. People don't talk to each other. You look at people will be sitting in their cars together on their cell phones. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Or a person will be driving and the other person is on the cell phone. Like, bro, like you can't talk to me while we drive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll get in this space, especially with my wife. I'll be like, hey, baby, you gonna have to put that phone down. Like, god damn it. You feel me? We've turned into the zombies, man. This is the zombie apocalypse, man. One rendition of it anyway. I'm talking about, man, these phones are dope. You understand me? And people are getting their fixes all day long. You can't even walk across the street correctly without looking at your cell phone. Like, what are y'all do? What are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? And to a degree, it's really, like I said, it really desensitizes us, man. You feel me? It really desensitizes us, man. You know what I mean? Expect create the content is one thing, but the people who like are just consuming the content, like, man, it's crazy to me. Like, it's crazy as hell to me, man. It's crazy to me. So I say this as y'all are actually, a lot of y'all are actually listening to the podcast, or you might be watching the video of the live stream. Um you're consuming the podcast probably on your phone, probably with your Apple, through your Apple AirPods. You got them white penises hanging out your ear. You feel me? And I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, you gotta, man, look up, smell the roses. Look at when the last time you looked at the sun? Like, the moon has been on some, I'm talking about, the moon has been on some powerful shit over the past month. Like, this moon over the last month, man, has been just like, the sky has been illuminated at night. You feel me? Like, y'all been looking at the moon? You understand what I'm saying? Like, have you been looking at the moon? It's in this wane, I think it's in the waning gibbous phase now. So have you like looked at the moon? Like, literally, like, man, get off your damn phone and go outside and look at the moon. Look at the sunset. You understand what I'm saying? Like, man, like, we've turned into the zombies with these phones, but it's all a part of it, man. It's literally all a part of it because, excuse me, you look at just how much of our lives are controlled. You know what I mean, by the phones. Um, you know, they've done a number on us. You feel me? Honestly speaking. And I don't know about other folks, but I've gotten to a place, and I've reached a place where I'm very uncomfortable with it now, right? So, like, I could be having this to the point now where I can have, with you when with the introduction of Siri and all that. It used to be one thing if I go to the internet and search something, right, and then it pops up on my social media platforms in the advertisement. It used to be one thing when I go to Google and search something. That was one thing. That was something totally different. Now it's to the degree where I can have a conversation about something. Like, I can be a physical conversation. Like, I could be talking to my kids about something, and I can say, hey, and we could talk about Sesame Place. You feel me? Or going back to Sesame Place or something like that. Like, I could talk to my kids literally about something, and then I'll look um you know in the next hour, and it's gonna pop up, you feel me, in my feed. It's gonna pop up. If I visit a website that has ads, it's gonna be in those ads. If I go to social media, and I might go look through Facebook, it's gonna be on Facebook, it's gonna be on Instagram. Like, and I'm like, man, this is uncomfortable. You feel me? Like, I'm literally uh uncomfortable at this point. I'm not gonna lie to you. And this is a person that I have media platforms, I run ads, I have websites that have ads on them. And I am so very much uncomfortable. Like, I am uncomfortable. You feel me? I am really, 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 truly uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I am really uncomfortable. Um Man, but this is kind of where we are. And at some point, I'm not sure, like, and I've been researching how to turn it off. Like, I want my voice shit off. Like, I don't want me to say something and then motherfuckers can take what I've said and run an ad. I'm old school, man. I don't like people, listening to me, man. And then to be honest with you, I have some times and some moments when, shit, you probably shouldn't be listening to me. You feel me? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. If I'm somewhere trying to get to them high notes, if I'm somewhere making the hit the high notes, I don't want y'all listening to them high notes. Hitting the high notes, baby. Like, I don't want you motherfucking freaks listening to making the hit the high notes. Like, I'm not trying to, what? You feel me? Like, I don't want y'all around when I'm trying to get to them getting the high notes, baby. When I'm trying to get to them high notes, man, like what? I don't want, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to my folks, man. Y'all don't need to be hearing the shit that we be talking about. And it used to be people be thinking you crazy when people say, hey man, I don't mess with them phones. Or certain places you go around certain types of people and you can't have no phone. Like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave your phone in the car type shit. And people be like, oh man, you tripping. Nah, bro. Nah, ain't no tripping. They listening. And so it makes me very, very man, it makes me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? It makes hey man, it's this shit crazy. Yeah, this shit crazy. Like, man, I don't like come on, Siri. Like Siri you ain't got sense to know I'm in here fucking. Like, move you need to leave. Siri, go. Unless you finna get in here. If you ain't finna get in here, then shit, leave. Like I don't want Siri in here or Alexa. Alexa, you don't need to be. Siri probably gonna come on now since I said Siri. It's some bullshit. Like I don't want Siri. Nah, Siri, unless you coming in here to do some fucking. Like you don't need to be here. Alexa, you don't need to be here. Y'all hoes need to leave unless y'all coming in here and getting down. But when I'm in here, hey man. So anyway, man, I'm really truly unnerved. That voice shit, man, I'm cool. And I'm gonna tell you another thing I don't do. The voice thing is already bad. We also had, they had the thing where they did the you did we did the fingerprint. You had to do the fingerprint to get in your phone to get your phone unlocked. You feel me? Um So now they got your fingerprint. You know what I mean? They do the voice recognition. So they already got the voice recognition. And now, some of y'all, and this ain't no disrespect to nobody, but I'm scared of it. So I don't mess with it. It's turned off on my phone. The face recognition. Like, I don't have the face recognition on my devices. It's that shit dead. Like, ain't no face recognition. You're not finna scan my face and let me, you know what I mean? I fell for it. I fell for it playing the video games and shit. I fell for the shit playing 2K and shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope as hell to be able to scan your face and then you know what I'm saying? You use your face on 2K. Like, that shit was dope as fuck. I fell for that shit back then. But now, like, nah, man, that face recognition, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Like, I don't use my facial recognition to unlock my phone. I use my 4 to 6 digit passcode that I've always done. You understand what I'm saying? Never, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna hold you. I still have my BlackBerry and I use my fingerprint for my BlackBerry and I shouldn't. You feel me? I shouldn't have used it. Excuse me, but I do use it for my BlackBerry. But nah, and I'm like, so and I just, I'm stupid, so I be looking at it like I'm like, all right, so you got my voice, you feel me? You got my fingerprints. Now you about to get my face. Like, what are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I'm one of them ones. So I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. I'm even, I'm thinking about going back to a flip phone. You know what I'm saying? And just using my computer for the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm teetering on the thought of that. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of the some wealthy, some of the wealthiest people that I have access to, um, you know, um, multi-millionaires, and they have they literally have flip phones, like old school flip phones. There's no Apple I nothing, none of that shit. Like, they don't. I was watching I saw a video of Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, you know what I'm saying? The investment company. He has Warren Buffett, one of the history's greatest investors and one of the world's richest men. He owns, if I'm not mistaken, I think he owns the largest share of Apple, I think, or I know he owns a huge stake in Apple, but I think it might be like the largest stake in the Apple, and his ass doesn't even have an iPhone. He owns one of the biggest stakes in the company, Apple, and he does not own their signature product. You feel me? He does not own their signature product. Man, I had to, and they was like, man, and they showed him his phone, and he opened up his phone, and it was a flip phone. And when he opened it, like a piece fell off that motherfucker. I said, oh my God, I've been hustling backwards, man. I'm doing this wrong. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing this wrong. And so I look at it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn near about to go back to the I'm damn near about to go back to the my personal phone anyway, being a flip phone. Like I'm damn near about to just, I don't want to do nothing but talk on there. You know what I'm saying? And then, my business line, can be the smartphone, only because of the mobile apps and stuff that I own. But I don't know, man. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm definitely looking for a way to disassemble Johnny Five with regard to Siri and Alexa. I need to turn them off, and I don't need them fucking with me. And that's where I'm at with it. Like this shit is real, man. This is a very real thing, and I'm just not sure what's going on. I know we have this AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, which I'm not, like, I'm thinking it could be very well be the end of civilization as we know it, man. You know what I'm saying? I read a book back in, it had to be in 1999. I read a book called The End of Work by Jeremy Rifkin, and the the book basically predicted this. It predicted the introduction of AI technology. It predicted or forecasted. I might not say predicted. He probably was privileged to some information that most of us aren't. It predicted companies, uh, certain companies going up, in flames. It predicted the changeover in the workforce, the end of the the end of the industrial boom, and industry going away. And a lot of, it predicted a lot of the stuff that came to pass. And so I'm just in this space where I'm on point, you know what I mean, for a lot of it. And I look and I notice stuff, and I know a lot of people don't really pay attention and they don't notice it, but I notice stuff. Like I notice when, excuse me, you go to the store, and aren't you starting to notice that there are more and more and more self-scan aisles, and less and less and less of traditional regular sales clerk aisles. You know what I mean? Less people on the register, more self scan. You understand what I'm saying? It used to be one aisle of self scan on either end of the store. You know what I'm saying? That's what it used to be. And now, if you look at it, it's like, maybe 8 to 10 aisles of self scan over here on that end, and 8 to 10 aisles of self scan over here. And then there are less and less and less of registers that are operated by actual people. You feel me? Like it's little stuff like that I'm starting to notice. I'm also noticing, the retail. I'm starting to notice the influx or excuse me, the different changes in retail, which are different definite signs of um the financial markets, and the overall conditions of our country. You know what I mean? I pay attention to those things. Also, we pay attention to what's going on with the holiday season. What stores are going to be opening, what stores are going to be closing, what stores are not going to have the traditional holiday hours. The traditional holiday hours, stores be open like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. instead of closing at 8 like they usually do. They're open till 10 p.m. Some of them are open till midnight. Some stores open up and they just stay open 24 hours during the holiday week. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of stores that are going to be pulling back on their hours. A lot of stores are going to that are traditionally open. a lot of stores that are traditionally open are going to be closed on Thanksgiving. There are stores I'm talking about are the big stores like Walmart. They came out and released a memo saying that all of their locations, including the regular Walmarts, the superstores, super centers, all of them are going to be closed on Thanksgiving Day. You feel me? They're not going to have the normal hours of opening up. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're going to do with regard to the whole Black Friday fiasco, but they're going to be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Usually Walmarts are open on Thanksgiving. A lot of retail stores and shops are going to be closing. Also, one of the things that a lot of people, I don't hear a lot of people talking about or not paying attention to, is the fact that Amazon, the superpower, the super company Amazon, has pulled back on their employee base. They're laying off employees at a rapid rate. Also, they have shut down production on excuse me, they have shut down construction and production on a lot of their distribution centers. Remember, just a couple of years back, cities were really going hard after the Amazon contracts to have the Amazon hubs in their cities. You remember that it was a lot of cities that were going all out to get Amazon to come over and to have a super, or excuse me, have a distribution hub in their cities. They had like some bids for like some big bids from cities to actually bring the company there. Well, a lot of those distribution centers are closed. They're closed, and they've ended, you know what I'm saying, construction on some of them, so on and so forth. And so it's a pullback because of the financial market, and because of the slowing down in business, basically. And so that's happening to Amazon. You feel me? That's happening to Amazon. You have FedEx pulling back. You understand what I'm saying? You have FedEx pulling back. They're laying off people. They're closing distribution centers. They're shifting things around because of what's happening with regard to the financial the financial markets, which is affecting the spending and purchasing of us, the consumers. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, and these are super companies. You feel me? So it's only going to be a matter of time before that trickles down to the other smaller companies, smaller retails, mom and pops, so on and so forth. I'm telling you, man, like it's a serious thing. And like I said, these are super companies. And as a person that, I engage in logistics, so I'm moving freight around. And so I'm a person that, just probably maybe a year or maybe a year and a half ago, I remember literally stopping at an airport. I was going to the airport to I was delivering, I think I was picking up or delivering from DHL. And it was actually during the holiday season. Um and so the DHL has, they have a lot of traffic coming in and out. And so I was at the CVG airport, Cincinnati airport in Northern Kentucky. So anyway, um, and I just remember, and I'm looking, and I saw all of these Amazon Prime airplanes, all of these Amazon Prime aircrafts, and I just look like, fuck. And then I'm looking at them lining up on the runway for takeoff. And it was just a line of Amazon Prime planes lining up for takeoff. And I just said, then, like, they getting that much money. It was probably 20 Amazon Prime airplanes at CVG right there. Like, it was probably 20 of them. And I was just like, damn. And so to see, to have witnessed that, and then look and look at then to look at what's going on now, just with the pullbacks, the layoffs, the this, the that, and I'm just like, man, like this is we are dealing with some serious times with the financial systems, with inflation, with money. in period. You look at the things that are going on just globally. And so I say all that to say, once again, that I'm going to continue to go to the mountaintops, and I'm going to continue to yell down. Like, you have to be prepared. Like, you have to prepare your families, man. I'm going to tell you, we do a lot of bullshit spending, and this is coming from a person that actually, I actually have businesses, that, you know what I mean, you all support, and I am so grateful for your support. But you have to, in order to survive this, you're going to have to pay attention to your spending. We're going to have to begin to, um um really truly move with intention with regard to how we spend. We're going to have to really kind of, we're going to have to tighten things up, man. We're going to have to tighten things up with regard to the way that the way we spend money. um it's just imperative. Also, you're going to have to pay attention to things that are going on in the financial market, man. You're going to have to, like, you're going to have to. I know that I know it's not like a sexy subject in our culture. It's not something that we like to gravitate toward, but you have to, like, you have to look at these things. Also, you're going to have to get in the mindset of actually bartering and working collectively. Like, you got to barter and work collectively. You got to go to the farmers markets. You feel me? You're going to have to work with the community. You're going to have to trade. Also, this is a good time for you to think about starting a business to help offset. You understand what I'm saying? To help offset the income. You know what I mean? Or excuse me, to increase your income. You're gonna have to, man. You're gonna have to. You're gonna literally have to. And then, I hate to say this, and hopefully, especially with regard to my stakeholders, hopefully this does not apply, nor does it affect you or your family. But, chances are it will. I'm just gonna be real with you. I gotta keep it a brick. They're going to be mass layoffs and job elimination. It's going to be in the masses. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of workers. You understand what I'm saying? Hundreds of thousands of workers, jobs eliminated. You have to be prepared for that. You understand what I'm saying? How are you going to absorb that? It's a good time. A lot of folks don't really believe in side hustles and so on and so forth. Hey, man, you gotta have those, what's lined up. You got to have those hustles lined up. You understand what I'm saying? God damn it. You might have to drive Uber. You might have to drive Roadie. You might have to get on the Walmart Spark app. You might have to just do it temporarily so that you can get some income coming in. And then in the event that something takes place, then you can just transition and you can pivot, and then you can put more time into your hustle and generate revenue. You might not be able to generate the same amount of revenue. You might be able to. You feel me? You might be you might be able to, you may not be able to, but you'll be able to have something. um Man, you gotta go get on these delivery apps, man. Get on it. You know what I'm saying? Get on it. Also, listen, this is going the those who are going to need to borrow money for your purchases, right? So if you're going to, borrow money and you're going to purchase a car, or if you're going to borrow money to purchase a home, or whatever the case may be, just be advised that you are dealing with a very an elevated federal interest rate. So what that means is that the interest rates for your loans are going to be extremely high. Those rates have, I think, in a lot of they have more than doubled in the past, I think, 6 to 7 years. They have more than doubled. You have to be You have to be um careful with your spending and careful with your borrowing. You're borrowing. You know what I'm saying? That's like the best I can. It's like the best I can say it. Like you're gonna have to be very you're gonna have to be very careful. You know, be very very careful. I personally would hold off. If you absolutely have to make a big purchase, then by all means, yeah. But I would hold off myself. Um, I would wait. You know what I mean? Because the housing market is on the brink of something serious going on. The financial market, period, you know what I mean, is on the brink of something going on. And what I'm saying with the elevated federal interest, so your interest rate for a loan, you know what I mean, if you have, A1 credit, your interest rate on your loan, you might be looking at a 6%, 7% interest rate, you feel me, on a loan, meaning just what it means. Your interest rate is 6 or 7%, where, like I said, 6, 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was a 2.5 to 3% interest rate. So when you look at that over the duration of your loan, like, you know what I mean? So it's, I would hold off on big purchases. You know what I'm saying? I would hold off on big purchases, and I would really truly, take my time and make decisions. When you're looking at also, we're looking at um the housing market, where there have been a lot of hedge funds and a lot of the Black Rocks and a lot of these big companies that have gone in and purchased a huge amount of real estate. And they purchased the real estate a lot of times, I think on average is something like $50,000 above the value. You know what I'm saying? So they've purchased up this real estate, driving up the housing market by offering and paying, on an average 50,000 dollars above the value of the actual property. You understand what I'm saying? So it has caused everything to be inflated, the prices and stuff to be inflated. I'm not gonna say falsely, but it's caused it to be inflated. And so with all of these things that are coming down the pipeline, a lot of people have variable rates on their mortgages. And so now their mortgages, they might have got in a variable rate at 2.5% for their mortgage. Well, now that rate has escalated from 2.5% to now that motherfucker is up to 8%, 7, 8%. You feel me? Their interest rate has more than doubled, in some cases tripled, on their homes. You understand what I'm saying? So now you're going to have people who are going to be defaulting on their mortgages, and you're going to have a lot of foreclosures and so on and so forth, and it's going to have a negative impact on the housing market. And a lot of people are predicting and have been predicting a crash in the housing market. You know what I mean? And in the event that that happens, then you're going to be able to, possibly acquire properties and shit for pennies on the dollar. But it's just the time is, like I've said before, to really truly have, cash on hand. You know what I'm saying? We're also going to be, speaking of which, it's going to be, you have to be intentional with who you're banking with in the event of a financial crisis, because banks will freeze your assets. You know what I'm saying? They will hold your money. You won't be able to have access to your money. If you don't believe that, you have to look at the things that are going on abroad. You have to look at the things that are going on in other countries. You have to go and look at, things that are going on in various areas of Asia, in the Chinese market. Look at what was going on in Europe, in the European market, in the European banks. You can look at what was going on in Italy. You can look at, there are a lot of, people who are, protesting because the banks won't allow them to access their money. We had in Canada not too long ago, we just had a situation where the money was frozen in the banks and people couldn't access their money on a Friday. I can't remember what day it was, but it was maybe a couple months ago. Um, So you have to be intentional and be mindful of who you bank in. Be mindful of cash, having cash on hand, also being able to have certain physical assets, precious metals, land, so on and so forth. So I just, once again, it wouldn't be me if I didn't come out and say these things and encourage you all once again to stockpile, have stuff that you need. You understand what I'm saying? to have to have your supplies on hand, stockpile the things that you need, the food, toiletries, um, you know, turn into coupon mom as well. Like just really get stuff that you need. You have a Sam's Club membership, use that motherfucker. Sam's Club, Costco, all of those big stores. Yeah, go do that where you can go buy stuff in bulk, man. It's a good opportunity um to do this. I mean, it's a good opportunity to stockpile the stuff that you need. Once again, people who actually um people who actually take meds, get your meds, man. Or find the natural alternative to your medication. Research the herbs that you need to take. You understand what I'm saying? Research the herbs that you can take for high blood pressure. Research the herbs that you can take for your eczema. Research the herbs that you can take for motherfucking cholesterol. Like research the herbs in the diet and the things that you can do. Also in my Be About It Farms, aka Demolly the Plant-Based Pugilist voice, man, put that goddamn garden in the ground. You know what I'm saying? I did it, you can do it. I did it, you can do it. You feel me? I still got tomatoes out there on the plants that I need to go pull off and can. I did it, you can do it. Tomatoes, squash, lettuce, you feel me? Bell peppers, onions, like jalapenos, like man, you feel me? Watermelons, like you can do it, man. Kale, get your stuff in the ground. Um, and if you don't want to put it in the ground, get you some buckets, get you some containers. Some of the sisters were on the platform. They talked about they use totes. You can grow your stuff in totes. Never thought about that. You can grow your fruit trees in a bucket, like, and get the relationship with the farmers. Get the relationship with the farmers. Go take your monkey ass to your local farmers market. Get your farmers information. Pick you a couple of farmers. Get their numbers. You know what I'm saying, and be in contact with them and get comfortable with them so that you can go to the farms and get food. Hey man, this is a very real thing, man, and it's time to get real. It's time for us to stop playing and stop monkeying around, man. But I gotta go. Um, you know what I mean? I'm gonna shut this down, man. This episode 34 of the Black Gentleman Podcast. I hate to leave it on such a. I don't want to leave it on such a somber note, man. But god damn, I want us to stop playing. You feel me? Like I literally want us to stop playing and I want us to like really truly get serious because we always are in this mode of absorbing what happens and shit has always happened to us. Like when are we going to start being proactive? You feel me? Like when are we going to start being prepared? Like we ain't never prepared for shit. It's always happening to us and then we running around like, oh, this happened, that happened. Like nah, when are we going to be prepared? Like when we going to be ready? When we going to be able to be in a position to deliver the blow instead of receiving the blow? Like when are we going to be able to, you feel me? Like when are we going to be able to, man, like be ready? You understand what I'm saying? Like the what was that, the was it the grasshopper and the ants? When the ants was working and the grasshopper was bullshitting, you feel me? Ain't that the story? Or is it, or ain't it the hen and the ducks or whatever? The hen was baking the bread and everybody was looking at the hen bullshit and not trying to help. Like, man, we need to this shit is real. Like this shit is really happening. You understand what I'm saying? Your money really does not stretch like it used to. If you don't believe me, take your punk ass to the grocery store and pay attention. Stop looking at your fucking cell phone. You understand what I'm saying? Stop just shopping online and just throwing the shit in your cart and going and taking your lazy ass up there and picking it up. Go take your bitch ass to the grocery store and walk the aisles of the grocery store. Go walk the aisles of the grocery store. Go look at the fucking prices that are on the shelf. Go look at your salary and see if it increased to match the increase of the prices of the food that is on the shelf. Like, pay attention. You feel me? Get the fuck off the cell phone, take them white dicks out your ear, and literally pay attention to what's going on in the store. Look at how much the food costs. Go look at the gas. Look how much the gas costs. This shit is real. I'm at the point right now, bro. I'm at the point right now where, like, I ain't holding you. Like, if my vehicle's moving, it's making money. Other than that, man, we at the crib with it. You know what I mean? We take, like, literally, we probably get out collectively as a family one time a week. Nah, it's a couple times because my baby has basketball training, and then we'll go do the park or something. You know, we move around collectively on the weekend. But go look at these prices of everything. You feel me? I need to replace some light bulbs. I went to go buy them light bulbs, and I'm like, oh, nah. Like, you know, light bulbs usually ain't you just go get the light bulbs. But I got these damn them flood lights, the big round circular lights in the ceiling. I don't know what they call. I call them flood lights. They call it something else. But I'm looking at the price of the light bulbs, and I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. I'm gonna have to shop around. You feel me? Let me see where I can, what coupons I can find. Like, I gotta take my time and shop around. This thing is real out here. It's real. But anyway, salute to the family. Thank y'all so much, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all, man. If I had a million tongues, I literally couldn't tell it all, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank you so much, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all for tapping in with me for this 34th episode of the Black Gentleman Podcast, man. Brought to you by the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, man. I forgot to actually play the commercial, but y'all get the gist of it, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all. You can come and check out the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, www.theblackgent.com. That's www.theblackgent.com. We do have a line of all natural handcrafted grooming products specifically with the Black Kings and Queens in mind. Y'all be sure to come check us out. www.theblackgent.com, man. Thank y'all so much, man. This is Junior the Truth. Signing off, man. I'm gonna give you your reminder to view your life like a pair of dice until your life looks like a pair of dice, man. I'm a high-born player made. If you don't know anything else about me at the end of the day, I gotta keep pushing, baby.